If Drake has turned this down for years, I'm like so flabbergasted. I'm like, no wonder you got Kendrick Lamar like crossing you up like AI crossing up Mike.
Kendrick is one-upping Drake at every turn.
Drake?
All right, so some people told me today, yo, never, you not gonna believe this. Akademiks was actually critical of Drake. And I said, what you talking about? So apparently on Axe Stream, he was talking about Millie Mall and his breaking news that Drake actually turned down doing the Super Bowl multiple times, all right? And they said Ak went off on Drake. So I'm going to play this for y'all. Let me know what y'all think. Don't forget to like the video, all right? I might go to jail like Tyrese. I haven't paid my child support. I am a good father, but I need y'all to like the video and help me come up, all right? So let's hear what Ak had to say.
Millie Mall has came out to say Drake has turned down multiple offers previously to perform at the Super Bowl. Here we go.
Kendrick is one of the ones that eventually would have had a halftime. So now, the sticky part about all of this is Drake has been offered this Super Bowl show for some years now and has turned it down. Probably 4 years he's been offered to perform at Super Bowl. Said no for whatever reason.
I have no. Hey, listen. From my understanding, Millie Mall does talk to Drake. I'm hoping this is true. Drake never told me that. By the way, to keep it real, last year after the Super Bowl, I hit Drake. I said, Drake, bro, if you've done everything, next year you got to take this shit over. He didn't really say shit. So I mean, if he was offered this 4 years in a row and he turned it down, that would probably be the time he would be like, Ak, what do you mean? I keep turning it down. If that's the case, brother, I think that's terrible. Like, what? Bruv. Yo, I'm still going off the same shit I've said about Drake recently. Like, bruv, look at Kendrick getting a headline spot, all the stir it's gotten. Why the fuck would you turn down the Super Bowl? Like, I just don't get it. Like, if this is true that Drake has turned down the Super Bowl multiple times, that is just baffling to me. Unless maybe that's just a sign of arrogance that maybe you thought you were bigger than the Super Bowl look, which I can't believe that's the case because you literally got a song that says big as the Super Bowl. And here's the thing about the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl has gotten people like Rihanna, who don't make music really anymore, has gotten her to fucking get up on a stage and perform in front of the whole world. What it's told me, like, just really, and this is a real moment, if Drake has turned this shit down for years, I'm like so flabbergasted. I'm like, no wonder you got Kendrick Lamar like fucking crossing you up like AI crossing up Mike. My nigga, these are things you should have done. If you have done the Super Bowl 2 or 3 times and Kendrick gets his first time doing the Super Bowl, dissing you, bro, you look even bigger. It's the fact that you've never done the Super Bowl. This nigga is doing it for the second time and headlining it and probably going to perform a diss song to you.
All right. I can't believe Ak said, no wonder why Kendrick is crossing you up like AI did Jordan. And remember, I put out a video, I think it almost got 100K, and I was explaining why Drake lost this battle. And a big part of why Drake lost is because of ego. And because he walked into this situation a little too cocky. And I think that's what's going on with this whole Super Bowl thing. I don't think Drake saw this coming. Because I don't think he looks at Kendrick as somebody big enough to do the Super Bowl like a Rihanna or a Usher or a Taylor Swift. Because I really need y'all to think about this because I'm editing this part of the video. So when you see this clip over, I had to edit it. Because what I just said a minute ago, I didn't express how deep this is. Kendrick is one-upping Drake at every turn. And I'm saying this as somebody who considers Drake the artist who makes music that speaks to me and my lifestyle. I'm a big relationship guy. I'm a big, I wear my heart on my sleeve with girls guy. A lot of Drake's music has been the soundtrack to my life. And even I will say, he underestimated Kendrick Lamar too many times. Look at what's transpired. Even when we go back to the beef, this time you following through, because at that time we hadn't seen Kendrick in that arena. We didn't see him battle anybody. But Drake foolishly underestimated him. Thought he wouldn't be able to come back with anything substantial. And boy, was he wrong about that. He even managed to sway some of the people who are on the fence about Drake. All of those people who say, I miss the old Drake, well, they're now Kendrick fans. And they siding with Kendrick in this beef, if you ask me. That's just an opinion, but I think that's what's going on, because we know it was a lot of Drake fans who are on the fence about him, talking about, I miss the old Drake. I want Drake to do this. I want Drake to be more hip hop. I don't like when Drake talking about he a gangster now. I want an all R&B album. All of those people who had all of these issues with Drake, I think a lot of them have sided with Kendrick. So Kendrick has shown he can rally a lot of subsections of hip hop on his side. The Back to Africa, we got to stick back to our roots. The lyrical miracle people, the people who want to hear that real hip hop, as they say. The people who looking for deep messages in music. You know how fun it was for people during that beef when they had to, pull out a notepad and try to figure out all of the subliminals and all of the mysteries that Kendrick was putting out. He really put us on almost like a Jumanji type of paper trail when it came to that beef. It was like a game. It was like a game. He created these, like a whole storyline with the shirt and the pills and all this other stuff, had us all looking into it. These are the things I don't think Drake was ready for. Then, this is the icing on the cake. He does a concert, and you know who comes to that concert? Kendrick and friends. Hold on. All of Drake's friends were in attendance at that concert. Northwest, you know how cool Kim and Drake are? Even when Kim was going through her divorce, it just seemed like her and Drake was so cool. Yeah, North was in there rapping, not like us, word for word. And he played that diss song, I want to say 10, 20 times. And by the time he got to the end of it, the crowd's reaction was just as strong as when he played it the first time. Then he got Dr. Dre to intro it. He got Dr. Dre to intro your diss track. And now once again, you've turned down a Super Bowl. And what you thought? He wasn't big enough to get that look? Because that's another thing when it comes to Drake and Kendrick. I get it, Drake. You're Drake. You're the closest thing we have to Michael Jackson in this era. I don't care how you feel about that statement. It's just the truth. But Kendrick can get in those same rooms now. You can look across the aisle and you'll see Kendrick Lamar. You can look next to you and you'll see Kendrick Lamar in your same section. You'll look on the flyer and you'll see Kendrick's name right next to your name. And now he's going to do the event, which is the biggest sporting event in America. And it's a chance he might be dissing you. Like Livingston Allen just said so elegantly in the clip. aka Akademiks. And I'm glad that Ak and Drake have this relationship, because I see some people now trying to come after this bond that him and Drake have. I see some people trying to tell Ak, hey Ak, Drake really don't mess with you. He didn't give you concert tickets. He's fake. I need y'all to understand that the look of just having some type of communication with Drake, the access to Drake where he can give you information first before anybody else, you can't put a price on that. I don't care if Drake didn't give Akademiks some concert tickets. What he's been able to get from his relationship with Drake, monetarily, money-wise, he can buy 1 million tickets. But I see people trying to get in Ak's head talking about, you know Drake don't really mess with you. He just using you for your platform. Drake could literally touch any platform. If Drake touched my YouTube channel, bro, I would have almost 500,000 subscribers very quickly, and all of my videos would be doing 6 figures. Just because people knew I was the Drake guy. And that's the same for any platform. Drake could literally get any of these platforms lit if he just blessed it and put his hand on it. Some people say Akademiks was the biggest winner in the Drake and Kendrick beef. Let that sink in. So anybody that's thinking that Ak is being used at Drake's expense, but Ak isn't getting 100% of what that's worth in return, you're crazy. But still, going back to my point, I'm glad that Ak is keeping it real about this. I'm glad that Drake has somebody who he can go back and forth with that's not agreeing with him 100% every time. Because I know a lot of people, y'all think Ak is the ass kisser of Drake. I've seen him be critical of Drake before, even throughout the beef. But, you know, people tend to sensationalize stuff, and you pay more attention to one thing instead of paying attention to the times where he was really telling Drake, don't do this, don't do that. He was bringing people on his platform who was telling Drake how not to lose this battle. I'll never forget when Charlemagne told Drake, do not bite the bait. Do not talk about any of that weird stuff that Kendrick is saying you doing. And he puts out the Heart Part 6, and he's explaining why all of the stuff Kendrick said is not true. That was the biggest and dumbest mistake that Drake could have made, because he gave those accusations life. And if you notice, after the Part 6, everybody started making their YouTube videos and everybody started talking about it more, because you just played right into Kendrick's hand. And nobody in OVO told him that that was a bad idea. Somehow he thought he had to respond to that. Just rap. Don't let nobody know he getting under your skin. That was the admission. I could talk all day about this, bro. But shout out to Ak for keeping it real with Drake. And hopefully Drake isn't, mad about what Ak just said. I think he was telling the absolute truth. And as I said, Drake is my favorite artist. But I'm never gonna come on this mic and be fake with y'all. I'm never gonna buy into, people who hit me up behind the scenes. Hey, I liked your video, I liked your perspective, and think that's gonna inhibit what I say about them or anybody else on this microphone. I'm always gonna keep it real and fair. For me, I just want y'all to know I don't choose sides. I like Kendrick and I like Drake. Kendrick has made music that has touched my soul as well. So if we gonna talk about some shit, I'm going to give both of them their proper due, and I'm going to make sure I bring all the information from both sides, and I'm going to let y'all decide. It ain't about what I think. It's just about y'all having all of the information so y'all can make the best decision and the one that makes sense for you. That's how I look at my channel. And I try to be funny and tell jokes whenever I can too, okay? So let me know what y'all think about this. Like the video. We just hit 76,000 subscribers. Y'all know we trying to get to 100K. So if you can sub up, I appreciate it. I got to start telling people to sub more too. So yeah, I'll see y'all next time. Peace.